Tony's amazing, and I know him for many years, and we've played together. We've done a couple of projects more, so I know him for very long time, and we actually can have that kind of relationship, like
Yeah.
brother.
That was a goddamn rush.
Nigeria Chambers for the Culture Collective here to talk about the new film Trap House in theaters November 14th. Michael and Kate, thank you so much for your time and congratulations on this.
Thank you.
Mike, let's get you out of here right fast, quick, and early. I had a
Perfect.
great time with this film. And you know what's interesting? Your leads, right? I was like, oh yeah, this is somehow, some way it's going to provide me some laughs because but Dave and what's his name? I mean, together, like, what do you expect? But in fact, having that preconceived notion and coming out on the other end, really feeling I kind of kind of the wave was like, man, I wonder if I'm capable of this. If these kids are doing these things, kind of felt like I want to get out there and do some stuff myself. Then when you add Kate, which I mean, you can't trust Kate in any film, any character she plays. So it was just a good balance of unpredictability, but good action, and also a good mix of your lead, your adult leads, and your young nucleus. I want to know for you, like as a director, how fun is that to really bring together an ensemble cast of vets that clearly can do it in every spectrum, but then you have these kids who some of us may not be familiar with, who also holds their own to push this movie forward.
Yeah, it's the best of both worlds where you get to work with, somebody like Dave, who's a friend who I've worked with before, who,
Yeah.
we have a shorthand, obviously. And then bringing in actresses of the Kate's caliber and, having that sort of shore up sort of the adult roles is amazing. And, having Tony and, all that. But the other fun part is putting together the ensemble of the kids and helping to landing those kids and putting together that group that work not only individually but as a group, and fostering that sort of relationship between all of them is a lot of fun. Giving them some time to rehearse and to have a good time and to build that, and then see them actually gel and work together and finish each other's sentences. It's very satisfying as a director, and you hope that in a couple of years you'll look back at this film and be amazed at how far the cast has come and where they've landed, and they seem to be well on their way in terms of that.
That's absolutely something I love, is that point of you saying like that was their breakout moment. That's when they started to really get the wheels going. But I was talking about Dave and Bobby, their chemistry together. You just never know what you can get
Yeah,
from the two of them.
like
But
Cagney.
Kate, just to put some respect on your name as well too. Also yourself, also being a producer. I'm curious though, when you step into a role such as this, Natalia, who's very layered, I might add, and unpredictable, and of course, if it's you, it's hard to sometimes trust these characters as loving as they come across. Did you approach it any differently, considering you have that well-rounded experience of both in front and behind the camera?
Yeah, every character talks to me in a different way, and I prepare it in a different way. Just I don't know what it is, and but anyways, but when I got the script, I just loved the whole thing. I think it was a great script, and directed by Michael with the amazing cast that we have and everything. It was a no-brainer for me, and also a challenge, especially because I want to make this right. They're looking for authenticity. I am the real thing because I am Mexican, right?
Yeah.
So. And I know a little bit about that world,
Mhm.
for the reasons that we know. But I wanted to do it different, in a different approach, not the typical, kimping or something like that. And I think it's also because it's written like that, so it's
Yeah.
it's good already in the paper.
Yeah, yeah. And Mike, I come out to you because the at the very core of this, I mean, the film deals with family, it deals with loyalty, and it also deals with survival as well. What is some of those emotional key takeaways you hope the audience to walk away from this film? And I might add also too, from a younger adult perspective? What is it that you really hope the young audience sort of take away from this?
I don't know. I think there's a theme of like, I think the thing that resonated with me is that like grief is complicated. Like when you're dealing with, losing, even if it's a friend of yours and they lose a parent, or if
Mm,
it's you've lost your own parent, or you're about to lose a parent. I think there's no right answers or wrong answers.
yep.
I think there's, I think everybody deals with it in their own way. And I hope, as in terms of the emotional core of the movie, I hope they take away that there are no wrong answers in that world, is that there's no proper way to grieve. And some people heist cartels, but that's not the point of this movie. It's it's really that emotional story between the father and the son, and how they come to terms with it by the end of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing that resonated with me, is that it's I think we all lose people in our lives, that it's and it there's no real playbook on how you deal with that.
Yeah, I very personally connected with that. And even as I matured as an adult, I reflect back to, I think, one of the most powerful moments in this film is the conversation between Ellie and Cody. And Ellie was describing what love looks like in a way that Cody wasn't initially familiar with. And I kind of thought back at a point of time where I used to think particular people in my family was tough on me or rough on me, and they're not like my mom. They're not doing it like she's doing it, but understanding that love can look different. And I also agree to the point that like grieving looks different as well, and we all just trying to figure it out going forward, which is a very deep and powerful message in a film that has so much action left and right and shenanigans for these kids. Like I said, I felt like I wanted to get out there and see what I could do with the cartel. Hopefully they're not listening.
Exactly.
Kate, I want to ask you because I do think emphasis in this film as well. And let me make sure I'm telling this right, and you kind of navigate this question because I don't want to give anything away. Um, Kate excuse me, Natalia has family in this film. All the way as far as father, and I'll leave it at that because I don't want to give anything else away potentially, unless it's not spoiler. Um, can you talk about like the rough position that she's in, considering navigating with her husband? There's a message where she talks about the quality of life and how she doesn't deem is right for the father, but also still trying to be present in her other family members' lives as well, while all this other stuff is kind of going on around her. Like in a way, how does she really capture still being a present mother, mom, or wife, or just woman inside of everything that's happening around her?
I got to sign off. I'm gonna go.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, it was again. I always say this: everything is in the paper, and this kind of woman, the authenticity that they were looking for. I love it because they gave this woman the skimping humanity in the way
Hmm.
that she cares for her family, and these people do, they're very religious and they love
Yeah.
their moms. It's like in their family, and they are like that. And this shifting the power between my brother and me and our father, the
Yeah.
patriarch, everything. It's just like family, but still they're doing horrible things on the side.
Yeah.
So it's interesting as an actor, but, because there's a lot of layers, and that's the only way you can make three-dimensional characters.
Yeah. Yeah, brother, excuse me. Yes, and that's right because I was like, there's a very early moment where she comes in and she's kind of like a fly on the wall to some things kind of happening, and you see her sort of observing in a way that's not like it's like viewed through sort of empathy and sort of like trying to understand like why would you do such a thing? Like why you questioning the decision by somebody that nobody else in that room is questioning the decisions being made right now. And I thought that was powerful.
No, absolutely, and that it's crazy because in their world, it's like, oh, my brother just did something stupid. Well, that's something stupid is killing. So, it's not a small thing. So it's kind of it's scary too. I think she is scary. I think she is a very tough woman, but because again, trying to justify my character because I always do. I always end up trying to understand them, but I think she comes from that world. She doesn't
Yeah.
know better,
Yeah.
so she's gonna defend that as much as she can.
Yeah. one thing I will say, as much as I joke about characters you play, it's hard to trust. One way or another, people don't put you in roles that aren't powerful, or maybe you give them life to make them powerful, whatever it may be. But whenever you get to acting, your performance is done, it's easy definitively across the board to say if you played a powerful character, a powerful woman, this is no different. But I'm curious if you can explain in terms of what power looks like here for Natalia, because yeah, you can talk about the cleaning lady, you can tell about Lorena Del Sur, but like this is again another show of power. As I mentioned, questioning her brother with no other male in that room would have dared. Even in the care of family, making the decision that he felt was best to the point that the notion that she made is carried on through legacy later on in the film. That you can say like somebody had the wherewithal to understand like this isn't the best quality of life, and I'm sure if ones who are held or bedridden might also agree too. Like this is not how I would like to be, for the rest of my life. Like let me go and beyond, especially in the household that you could deem as being religious. We don't need to be here if I don't need to be here. If my soul is already ready to go. But yeah, I'm just curious if you sort of define sort of how Natalia is different from any of your past roles in terms of being powerful.
Yes, I think here's is the legacy. The others wanted to get away from what they're doing, and they're forced to be there in a way or the other. But here is the legacy. She wants in, and she's gonna be there for as long as she can, and she's not gonna let anybody come. And it's this power that I'm gonna have because the thing is that this cartel members, when they are the leading ones, they lose power, and when they lose power means they're gonna get killed. you
Yeah.
know and then this cartels, the other cartel comes and they eat them. So this is a power thing for her. This is I'm staying, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoy really the moments with you and Tony. It's definitely something that you wish you could spend more time with. But the story and
Tony's
everything,
amazing. Tony's amazing. I know him for many years, and we've played together. We've done a couple of projects more, so I know him for a very long time, and we actually can have that kind of relationship, like
yeah,
brother and sister.
yeah, amazing. You totally can see it.
Yeah.
Since I have just a little extra little time with you, I'm curious. I was peeping a little forward here, kind of looking at some of the projects you had going on. One I see that's a little interesting that I think is going to possibly show even a more diverse side of you is a Cuban's Girl Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. Anything you can speak about that?
Yeah, you know what? I shot that movie probably 2 years ago. And I don't know where it's at, but it's a
Hmm.
great movie. It's based on that book, and it's called A Recipe for Love. That's the name the name of the movie, and it's amazing because I we shot that in London, not in London, in New York, which is an amazing little town.
Yeah.
And I play grandma, but it starts being young and then it goes to a grandma, but really grandma. I had like my face, you don't
Yeah.
recognize me. It's all characterized, and it was a lot of fun, but also it was very depressing for me.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say they're gonna have to use some prosthetic because ain't nobody ever gonna look at you and be like, "That's a grandma."
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Trap House, as I mentioned, coming to theaters November 14th. We'll leave it off on this note. If there's one thing that you want to tell folks in terms of describing what this film is about, what would it be?
Oh my God. A cartel heist with action, but also has a lot of drama, and a lot of explosions, which is always fun. So you're gonna be entertained for sure. It's a great movie. It has everything to satisfy your cravings.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Kate. Congratulations on this. Hopefully, we get to talk again very soon.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Take care.
Bye.